What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number 82 of the Sorta Interesting podcast, and welcome to our Broken Lizard review series, where we were supposed to review movies from the Broken Lizard comedy troupe, but some things come up, and life happens, ladies and gentlemen. But we do have a schedule to stick to right now, so we have narrowed the review down to one movie. The best movie from the Broken Lizard comedy troupe, which is Beerfest. I am your host. My name is Christian Patam, and with me is my beard chugging, mustache wearing, frog jerkin, litre Ocola, handsome motherfucker of a co-host, Myles. Darling, damn, you are you are in it right now. Oh my god, nice job. Wow.
I didn't have another one on deck, but
Myles, how you doing, man?
Fine.
It's been a couple weeks since I've talked to you, but yeah, how you doing?
It has. Been really busy. Work is just taking over, and it's
good. Better than the opposite. Better than no work at all. So I'd rather have.
Yeah. I'm really fortunate that the past year throughout COVID, because you just got your vaccine.
Vaccines coming out. I just got mine. Moderna.
So we're on the tail end of this, but
yeah,
through that entire year, I've been laid off. I've moved. I've
went through the whole
rehired.
Yeah,
went through the ringer.
This year.
I feel like I've been working just my ass off, but it's
good. Yeah, thank
unfortunate
God,
for that. Yeah, because
Myles,
not a lot of people can say that.
Myles, I love you, but we got a lot of stuff to get to today. Myles, for today's side podcast, I know you got some stuff you want to get to, but I have one question for you today. Mm-hmm. My question is, what is your favorite video game of all time? Or if you don't have one, what is your most memorable video game experiences, if you've ever had?
That is a really, really good. First, I'm going to go with my favorite video game.
Yeah, we never talked about this, so I'm interested to see what you got here.
I feel like we have, but off the podcast. We've talked about it, and it's a video game that you've played recently.
Maybe we were drunk or something. Oh, okay. Oh, I think I know where you're going. Okay.
Video game series franchise that I just fell in love with from the moment I played. I didn't play it when it came out.
It's because of the circus. It's because of the circus of values, isn't it?
The circus.
God, that whole aesthetic, man. We were going deep on the
streamlined modern.
The design of that. What a fucking game that is, though. Yeah, I'm like probably halfway through it right now. I haven't gotten back to it in a couple weeks, but. So that's your favorite video game of all time, huh? The first one. Have you played through all three BioShocks?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
I have. I will say, like, this, the story in BioShock 3 mixed with the setting it's a movie. It's an award-winning movie.
That's what I've heard. I've heard nothing but good things about Infinite, and I'm very excited to get to that.
It is insanely good, the story. And that's what drew me. Usually it's like gameplay, you want to just... that's what you're doing. You're interacting with a movie in a sense, but
right.
it works so well together. Everything works so well together.
Is it the same character from the first game? I don't even. I'm in the game now, and I don't even know. I don't even have a name. Like, there's no. I think this is just a random guy. Like, I don't know if this is the actual guy that we're carrying on.
In BioShock 1, the guy doesn't talk at all.
Yeah.
And in BioShock 3, you are the main character, Booker DeWitt.
That's what I heard of. Yeah.
You have a voiced by Troy Baker.
Troy Baker, what a fucking gem he is. God, I love that's like one of my heroes, man. I would love to be a voice actor.
I know, right?
Be like a Troy Baker. God, he does all the cool games.
Like some background, some videos of them doing voice acting for Infinite. They get into it, man. Yeah. I've never seen it's magical.
Well, you got to be an actor when you're a voice actor. You got to be an actor first. Like every every video I've seen about voice acting, it's like you got to be an actor first. Doesn't matter if it's just the voice. So I'm like, I don't got that, but I could do voices, but I can't do the acting part. But that's interesting. Yeah,
what about you?
My favorite video game would probably have to be Skyrim. It used to be like Halo 3 back in the day. I used to play that all the time. But yeah, Skyrim, that's one of those games where I've played it on like 5 different consoles throughout the years. I mean, it's one of those games where I could just get lost in it for, probably days at a time and not do the same thing over and over again, even though I've played that campaign fucking probably like 5 times already. But man,
that's insane to me. I've heard the same thing, from multiple multiple people. Like I think Nick is one of them too. Like,
It's so much fun I just love the exploring part. Like I don't really care, but the campaign's pretty fun, but I just love exploring things. I like finding new places and new weapons and stuff, and the game is so big and vast, and it's fucking amazing. But I can't wait for another I guess not Skyrim. Was it Morrowind? No, what's that whole series called? I don't even know what it's called, but
Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls, thank you. Elder Scrolls series, which I think there's probably going to be coming one in a couple years. But yeah, it's been a while since we got one of those games.
Did you ever play Morrowind? I think that was
the one before that. No, I did not play that one. I remember watching like videos on it, but yeah, I never got it for 360. And then then Skyrim was my first Elder Scrolls game, and I just fucking fell in love with it. So good.
Morrowind, and then Oblivion came after that.
Oh yeah, on the original Xbox, right? The Oblivion. Yeah, I remember when that came out too. But I want to go on video game experiences as well, because you're part of that. Because my favorite video game experiences were probably doing like those Destiny raids that we used to do back in the day, man. Yes. Oh my god, those were so much fucking fun. That might be the greatest time I've ever had playing video games. That and those GTA heists that we did back in the day. Oh my god, dude!
You remember the green jackets we used to try to get playing golf?
That was just that was just a side game that we played. But I remember those heists. I remember one time we were at your house. We were all playing fucking till like 5 a.m. trying to do like the very last heist on
with the helicopter, right?
Oh my god! You had to jump out.
Where, like jumped into
we said fuck the helicopter, we're taking a car all the way over there. We had to drive through the mountains, and it was
random
dude right? that was the best part about it. We had a random guy playing with us for like 5 hours straight, and then it was dude, it couldn't have happened any better, because it was like maybe like 4 a.m. He was like, all right, this is my last one, and we were like, fuck, we gotta nail it. And we fucking nailed it on that last one, and that was the last heist. I'm sure there's a bunch more heists now, but yeah, those heists were a lot of fun, but I still think those Destiny raids, man, it doesn't get any better than that. It was so much fucking fun doing those raids all the time.
I'll take you one a little further back. Was when we would play Gears of War 2.
Oh man, yeah,
and we would try to get through. This was mainly with me and like with Matt.
Yeah, you and Matt mostly played. I wasn't really good at those games, but yeah, I remember it was just fun being around.
Horde mode.
Yeah, Horde mode is such a fun multiplayer experience. Just on the couch co-op kind of game, man.
Gears of War 2 was probably like one of the pinnacles of like that like franchise, or Gears of War 3, I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
And that Horde mode, I don't know, it was just like we had it down to like where we would go after every like set, when the berserkers would come, when this and that. Dude, we had it down. Coming over after school, just playing until like 10 or 11, and then
during the summers too, we had nothing to do all day, no responsibilities, no job, nothing. We just fucking play games all day at your house. So much fun. Probably another
order pizza.
Oh yeah, the Godfather. Jesus Christ!
Oh my! with a tub of ranch, like
Godfather pizza. By the way, fucking this wide, can't even get it through the goddamn door. Those pizzas. But yeah, probably another one was probably replaying the Master Chief Collection with you. When we played through all 3 of those the Halo games on Legendary, which was a lot of fun, dude. But it was so frustrating. But man, that took me back and playing through all those games again. Yeah,
I think the only skull we had on was the Grunt Party.
Oh yeah, Grunt Party.
Shoot him in the head.
I want to say we played through all of them, but I think we gave up on the second one, Legendary, because it had that lasso where it's if one person dies, you have to start the whole fucking thing over. It's like, yeah, we're not gonna do that one. I think we definitely did the first one, and I think we did the third one again. But those games are. Halo 3 is probably one of my favorite games of all time as well. So just playing through those again, goddamn.
Dude, I remember vividly. Just one more point, like Halo 3. I had a whole like week where I think it was my mom was gone for a whole week. It was just my dad, and so it was no holds bar. Anything to eat for dinner I was eating Captain Crunch like 3 nights in a row for dinner, dude. I was sitting in my rocker chair, that AK rocker or rocker.
Man, that thing, that red chair? Wow,
that hard plastic chair that was on the ground in the living room. I put my Xbox in there because no holds barred, Oh, and I remember I met up with a couple dudes that I just met on Forge. And
some randos, nice.
Yeah, some randos. We played for like that entire week together, and then I didn't play with them again after that. But that
play like campaign or multiplayer?
No, we played multiplayer, but mainly Forge, where we were doing like the user created like maps where you'd be racing mongooses through like space, like going up and down ramps, doing like gravity hammer, trying to knock people off of ledges and stuff. Just like you're like on a circle on a platform in the sky. You're just trying to knock people off. Oh my god, dude. I remember just having so much. That was when I really discovered Forge. I'm not creative enough to do this, to come up with stuff like this, but I'm glad people are.
And shout out to Halo. They always had those like cool like camera systems too, where you could like film everything. And it was oh my god, dude, they were so ahead of their time.
Just, like change the angle. Yeah, it really was.
And so many cool multiplayer like modes as well, like King of the Hill and all the infected
Griff
and
Ball.
shit. Oh yeah, Griff Ball. God, man, so fucking cool.
Infected too.
Infected that.
God, that voice actor.
Griff Ball.
One of the best voices in video games.
Kilimanjaro.
Kill-tacular.
Running
riot.
Myles, did you have something you wanted to bring up? You were talking about something earlier.
Yeah, I did. So we're into the phase 4. What is it? Or 3?
I think it's 4.
Marvel.
I think it's 4. Yeah.
And I think a lot of streaming services and networks are really just taking these superheroes, villains, this comic book adaptation into TV, into movies. Like they're just taking it and running with it. Like
we are living in the golden age of superheroes right now, and it's such a fun time to be living right now, man.
I have a small list here of just what we have going on as far as this list is concerned. We have Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which has been fucking fantastic. Are you fully caught up on that yet? I am fully caught up. I just watched the most recent episode where we were introduced to he's not really a spoiler alert, right? Zemo? No, yeah, he was in Civil War, so he's. Oh yeah, around. He was. I know. Mm-hmm. So he was in the trailers too, so everybody knows he's coming. So I think it's great. The only gripe I have with it is I feel like maybe I don't know, the chemistry just is. I just didn't really. I don't know, the fun, the comedy doesn't hit for me as much as it did. Okay. It's still funny, but it's just not like I love that whole when they were in the couples therapy session. That part got me fucking cracking up when they were like knee to knee and they got closer and closer. Man, I like their chemistry a lot, but I think it's moving a little slow because I think there's only going to be like 6 episodes. Oh, really? And it's supposed to be like an hour long each, but they're only like maybe 43 minutes because the goddamn end credits of those. Have you seen the end credits? They're like fucking 15 minutes long. Too, right? Exactly. Yeah. The same with WandaVision. They go through their end credits and then they go through an extra end credits and then they go through like some foreign language end credits. The longest fucking credits ever. It's like you're taking up fucking 10 minutes of space that you could be using for the show. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But I love Sebastian Stan. I miss seeing Sebastian Stan. I feel like he kind of tailed off when it came towards like Infinity War. Yeah, and that sucked, man. Because all he had was he's going around with a gun that had unlimited bullets, and he's not even utilizing his arm. That's like, I was very disappointed at how they didn't utilize him because he's a super soldier as well. They never showed him. Yeah, I remember in Infinity War. He should be running out there. Remember in Infinity War when Captain America and Black Panther were running and they were ahead of the crowd. I'm like, where's Bucky? Bucky runs fast too, but he wasn't there. I was like, okay, but yeah, I'm glad he's getting his due finally. From running. And I like how he has the new arm too. That arm is so sick. That black and like gold arm. Oh, dude, the Wakanda forever. I feel it's got a preset mode in there where it brings it up like this. Just one arm, just like that, just all the time. How about his jacket that he wears all the time with that fucking that like kind of like bomber jacket with the one sleeve cut off? It's so sick. I love that jacket, man. And his hair. He's just a fucking good looking guy. Jesus Christ. He is a good looking guy. God damn, I don't know what it is, but it's going up his ass. Yeah, that is him. That's him, dude. You watching Red Dawn again? Right. God, man, where you got to start, man. Never forget. I love that movie. So we have Falcon and Winter Soldier. If you haven't watched that, go ahead. It's on Disney Plus. Invincible, this show I just talked to you about. It's an adult animated comic adaptation, and it's got a star-studded cast.
Oh my god, it has a studded cast. Jesus.
And when I say it's adult, I mean adult.
Yeah,
dude, people's heads are getting ripped off. People's necks are like, blood is everywhere. It's the same. I believe it's the same writer as the Walking Dead series.
Yeah, Robert Kirkman.
It has a lot of the same actors turned to voice actors for the series. Like the lead.
Oh fuck! I didn't even connect that dot right there. That's right? Fucking Stephen Yeun. Yeah. Oh shit.
Glenn. And then you have Lauren Cohen in there, but she has a small part. Okay. You have this is gonna be a little crossover from Destiny. Shax, Lord Shax.
Who's that? I don't know.
Guardian, where he's like the Crucible.
Okay, yeah.
He's in there too. You've got everybody. Dude, Jillian Jacobs in there.
I got what's his name? The fucking not at my tempo. What's his name?
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons. Yeah, God. How about his hair in that? God, what a fucking! I want to look like J.K. Simmons in that show. Jesus Christ! But that comic book was written almost 20 years ago. It was early 2000s when that comic book was written, and I'm barely starting to read it now. I'm probably about 20 issues in, and it's like 200 issues. So I'm like, fuck, wow. I got a lot of catching up to do. I don't know how this is. The first 3 episodes just came out, and they're moving pretty fast. Like when I'm comparing it to the comics, I'm like, oh shit, they're gonna catch up to where I'm at soon. So I got to get on that. But I hope they don't cover too much. I hope they keep extending the seasons. But man, it's been fucking fantastic. Because just to compare,
you've seen it too, huh?
Yeah, I saw the first 3. So that fight with the fight with J.K. Simmons' character, I already forgot his name. But when he's fighting
with Omni-Man,
Omni-Man, when he's fighting like the rest of the Guardians of the Globe.
Oh my.
So dude, that fight in the comic book, it's not nearly as cool as that. In the comic book,
really?
It's just panel. It's just him just fucking putting his hand through like people's heads and like exploding. Like it's just pictures of them, right? But in this, they draw out the whole fight, and it's fucking amazing. I remember watching that. I was like, oh shit, oh fuck. Just dude, every movie did, dude.
Dude, I'm watching it in bed, and Lex is going there like. What the hell is happening? You know,
it is so awesome, that fight, dude.
Oh my! I'm still trying to pick up like what this guy's put down. Obviously, you're watching.
No, his story is very cool. Yeah, just wait for it, man. It gets pretty cool. It's gonna.
He's like this version's Superman. He comes from a planet of people who are who are just stronger, better, faster, you know.
Yeah, they're gonna go into the backstory of where they're gonna like show his planet and stuff, and it's gonna get pretty cool.
Yeah, without getting into too much detail though. But that's Invincible. That's on Amazon Prime. First 3 episodes. I don't really want to touch on any of the CW stuff. I
never watch any of those, so I have no idea. Yeah.
Netflix has a series coming out May 7th called Jupiter's Legacy.
Never heard of that.
It's a comic book author, Mark Miller. Collaboration with Netflix. They bought Miller World. I don't really know much of it. This new superhero franchise. I don't know. I guess take a look out. There's not much on it.
Okay.
Jupiter's Legacy. It's on Netflix.
Cool title.
MODOK. Yeah, MODOK.
MODOK's getting his own show. Oh,
MODOK. He's getting his own he's MODOK. If you guys don't know, it's. What is he? He's like
he was a bad guy in Captain America and Captain America's Winter Soldier, I believe. He's basically put his brain into like this like television set kind of thing, and I don't know. It's a little weird. I didn't realize he would get his own show.
He's got an animated. It's an animated series.
He's got his animated series on Disney Plus as well. His own animated series, which is a little weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like an old thing. But
this is coming out on Hulu.
Hulu
in May. And it's going to be... So MODOK is short for Mental Organism Designed Only for Killing. And
did not know that.
It's going to have a pretty star-studded cast. You got Patton Oswalt voicing MODOK.
Oh, I did hear about this. Yeah. I remember seeing stills and stuff, yeah.
You have Jon Hamm as Iron Man.
Oh, Jon Hamm also in Invincible, by the way.
Really?
He was the guy who brought his stepson to England and whatever, and they were in front of the castle or in front of
what?
Buckingham Palace. Yeah, I didn't even realize till I paused it, and on Amazon they have like that X-ray thing where you can see the voice actors. I was like, oh,
yeah,
that's Jon Hamm.
I love that part.
Yeah,
about,
that's awesome.
Amazon. See, Jon Hamm as Iron Man, Whoopi Goldberg as Pound Cakes, Nathan Fillion as Wonder Man.
Whoa.
And Bill Hader as Angar, the Screamer, and the Leader.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's got some good voices. Keep a lookout for that on Hulu.
Yeah.
Obviously, Loki coming out in June.
Oh, very excited for that, man.
I don't need to say any more about that.
Yeah.
FX is trying its best at one of these superheroes called Y: The Last Man.
Oh, that's a comic book. Yeah, that's a graphic novel. I haven't gotten to that one yet, but yeah, that's interesting.
I've just heard it's been a long road from trying to get this show adapted. He's apparently the last man on Earth,
right? Yeah,
last male, animal, and human. And I don't know. I feel like nothing can go wrong with that. What If? That's coming this year. I don't need to say any more about that. Sandman, we just talked about that. It's coming to Netflix.
I heard Keanu Reeves is actually going to be voicing Sandman. I don't know if it says anything about that, but I could.
I have here Tom Sturridge as the King of Dreams, and the gender-swapped take on Lucifer, portrayed by Game of Thrones favorite Gwendolyn Christie.
Oh, nice. Okay.
If you look at the picture that they have here of Tom Sturridge next to Sandman, it looks like
is it going to be live action?
I believe so.
Oh.
We'll see. We'll have to see. There's not much on it. It's been.
I tried reading that comic a long time ago. It's a little weird. Gaiman's like his stuff is always a little like kind of out there and abstract, and has to do with like all kinds of.
If you've ever seen
all kinds of lore and like all that stuff, like
this one's about like
mythology. Yeah, he always does all that stuff, and I never. It's hard to get into because all these different names and it's weird.
Like The Preacher is all about like religion and stuff. Yeah, you should watch. If you've ever read The Preacher, you guys should read that. That's a comic book series I've actually read its entirety.
He also did American Gods, which I think is on Amazon Prime. Yeah, I remember I read that book and I was like, it's
on Stars.
Oh, Stars. Okay, yeah. That was okay. It was again all like Greek mythology and stuff.
Yeah,
a little too much for me, but it's pretty.
It's hard to keep up with that. Miss Marvel, that's coming to Disney Plus. That's a newer comic,
right? Yeah. Also, I don't know if you have this, but what's her name? Black Widow. That just they announced that's coming. That's premiering on Disney Plus and in the movie theaters at the same time. Thank God.
Oh, right on.
They kept trying to just push that shit back to the movie theaters only. So thank God they're it's good. Releasing
they should.
Disney Plus as well.
What HBO Max has done too, I feel like has set a bar, set a precedent for, okay, it should be available because they're going to get their money either way if they sign these deals.
Speaking of HBO Max, did you watch that Snyder Cut, Myles, of Justice League? God.
I was getting to that. I'm glad you brought it up right now. I mean, I talk about a 180.
Man.
The original Justice League movie doesn't do justice.
Dude, I watched the original one right after, or not right after, but like the day after, and I was like, God damn, this movie's a big steaming pile of poop. And then after watching that Snyder Cut, I was like, fuck, do I like Justice League now? Damn it. I think I like it. But this was before like any reviews came out, so I was like, man, I hope I'm not the only one. And then reviews started coming out like this whole week, and I'm like, I'm so glad everyone is on board for this. Everybody wants that Snyderverse back, and I'm so glad.
And I've heard that there's a because what Snyder wants to do was expand more on that nightmare.
Right, yeah, I heard about that too. Yeah, that's why that last scene. Yeah,
that last scene was really like the epilogue.
Yeah,
man, I don't even know. There was so much going on, but at the same time, it's.
I was shocked that whole time during that last fight with Steppenwolf. I was like, oh my god, they changed everything about this last fight. Right? It's not even close. I was like, holy shit, this is so much better. When she fucking chops off his head and it goes through that portal, I'm like, holy fuck, this is so fucking cool, dude. It was awesome.
And that dude, when that fight the old fight from Earth when everybody was teaming up together, all the Atlanteans,
when they expanded that, the Green Lantern.
He had the what's his face?
That was Zeus,
the god.
Yeah,
Zeus.
Yeah,
dude,
that guy's jacked. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and then you have Green Lantern.
That was awesome.
Who just that one shit a brick, dude. You know what reminds me is I watched the movie you told me to watch, the animated one.
Oh, the Justice League Dark.
Yes.
Did you watch the second one or the first one?
The second one.
Oh man, what a fucking Constantine, dude! Are you fucking kidding me? Constantine doing all those fucking like magic shits. Oh, dude, he is so fucking cool.
Oh my
god,
dude,
so cool.
That was
how bloody was that too? By the way, in the beginning,
was
how fucking there's heads getting chopped off and shit. And
dude, you see Starscream with her innards out.
Oh my god! Yeah, and then like Shazam, he's getting torn apart like in the air with like all of his limbs. I'm like, oh my god, this is fucking brutal. But it was so good. Streaming on HBO Max. Go watch it if you haven't. It's Justice League Dark. So fucking good.
Crazy. And that kind of ties into did you want to watch that trailer right now?
Which one? The Suicide Squad?
Suicide Squad.
Yes, let's go. I was gonna end it with that, but if you have anything else.
Well, yeah, let me just run through. So we have She-Hulk, we have Peacemaker, which is actually gonna be coming off of the whole Suicide Squad. Back. Peacemaker is a character played by John Cena.
Oh, okay.
And he's gonna have his own series coming to HBO Max.
I'm interested. Now you have my attention, John Cena.
Now you have my attention.
Now you have my fucking attention. That's awesome.
Let's see here. We have Hawkeye series in production.
I'm very excited about that.
Haley Steinfeld is.
He's got one of the best comic book runs, and they're finally putting it in live action, and it's gonna be awesome. Haley Steinfeld.
That's his. She's gonna be his protege.
Yeah.
Kate Bishop. You have Moon Knight in production. At
very
Disney
excited. Who's supposed to be Moon Knight?
Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac. God, he's getting all the cool roles now. Fucking
and you're gonna
Metal Gear and fucking Moon Knight. Let's go, Oscar.
I know, right, dude? I love it. I love Oscar Isaac.
He's gonna be in Dune too. Oh,
he looks so good in that too.
I just watched. By the way, I just watched the original Dune.
Kaka
needs help. Yeah, Jesus.
It does. It's a little tough.
Thank God we're getting a new one, because man, that movie was atrocious. Jesus Christ.
It's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah.
So that Moon Knight, not a lot of people know of Moon Knight. I didn't know of Moon Knight. I had to look that shit up.
He's it's
an Egyptian god. Yeah, apparently
he's pretty cool. Yeah.
And then we have Armor Wars pre-production Disney Plus. Which
man, Don Cheadle's gonna come back for that. Yeah, I'm very excited for that. Yeah.
I was glad I got to see him.
I was not expecting that when he was in Falcon and Winter Soldier, because I remember I was watching it. I was like, oh, Don Cheadle. I was like, oh wait, we're not watching a movie. This is a TV show.
Watching
Jesus,
this is Don.
That was awesome.
Right? I Am Groot in development at Disney Plus is a series coming. I mean, need I say more? Untitled Boys, the Boys spinoff. Hasn't been. They haven't really released too much on it, but
I know they're filming season 3 right now.
Season 3,
right? Yeah.
Yep. We have Silk. It's in development at Sony. Do you know Silk?
Ooh, that's part like of the Spider-Verse. Yeah.
Yes.
They have a weird relationship, him and Silk. I don't know how that's
Spider-Man and Silk?
No, yeah. They're
Cindy Moon, aka Silk.
I think she's Korean as well. Silk, if I'm not mistaken. So that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, it looks like it's part of the Spider-Verse, so which is good. We're getting more expansive with that, which I really like. Secret Invasion in development at Disney Plus. This talks about Talos and Nick Fury and how how they've there's Skrulls that have been on Earth for God knows how long, so we'll see what that entails. Untitled Green Lantern series in development at HBO Max.
Oh, series. Interesting.
Yeah, we're going to get multiple Green Lanterns, as far as I know. Ironheart. It's a comic book about a girl who was inspired by Iron Man, and she made her own suit.
Oh.
Okay. And here we go. Last but not least, Carl Urban really wants to put on that Judge Dredd helmet.
Oh man, what a fucking movie! That movie's on Hulu right now. Judge Dredd, or it's just Dredd, I believe.
It's just Dredd.
Oh
yeah,
man,
talk about a cult classic, like instant classic. He wants to do a new show, and they're talking about Judge Dredd Mega City 1, and he wants to be the guy. He wants to strap up again.
I would love that. I mean, that was such a pleasant surprise. I remember putting that movie on. I was like, all right, we'll see what this is all about. And fucking Carl Urban just killed it. That was so sick, dude. It was awesome.
Perfect.
That helmet is so cool. God damn.
And it's like timeless. Like you don't need much because you can really see age in people. Like if you could see like from their nose up. But this,
all you need is this. He just looks like this the whole time. This is Dredd.
This is Dredd. I love it. And that's all I got. Oh, Echo for Disney Plus. She's like some Native American like superhero.
Oh,
and
okay.
Yeah, she's part of the Cheyenne tribe or whatever. Anyways, she'll be introduced in Hawkeye, and she'll get her own show. So that's a lot to catch up on. A lot of superheroes, a lot of stuff to look forward to.
Should we get into the Suicide Squad trailer now?
Yes.
Also, this is a Red Band trailer, so there's going to be some gore and some cursing or something. Maybe boobies. We'll see. Let me do this. All right. Let me do this. There. Got to change like a bunch of stuff. Stream this. All right. Do you see that there?
I can see that.
All right. Let me
see if I can hear it.
This. All right, here we go.
You gotta be kidding me. You're gonna risk the entire mission for a mental defective dressed as a court jester.
It's coming from a guy that wears a toilet seat on his head.
We don't leave one of our own behind.
Hopefully Harley's still alive.
No funny business, Colonel. These are dangerous people.
Team 2 is clear to go.
Fire on. 3, 2.
What's going on with their outfits?
What?
Casual Friday?
Save you.
You were gonna save me?
It was a really good plan, too.
Well, you can go back inside and you can still do it.
That's patronizing.
Who's that? Is that Idris Elba?
Yeah, that's...
I'm already in, dude. I'm already in.
Successfully
Michael Rooker. Pete Davidson, let's go.
Wow. Rocket Raccoon has really gone downhill.
You fail to follow my orders in any way, and I detonate the explosive device in the base of your skull.
God, that's a terrible wig. These costumes are so over the top. I love it.
I know. Jai? Kid.
Nom nom.
Oh.
Any questions?
And
Yes.
You know whose voice that is, by the way, Myles?
No, I know.
I just found this out today.
Exactly who. I know that voice. Who is it?
That's Sly Stallone.
No way.
Let's go.
we're all gonna die.
I hope so.
It's
Oh, he's Deadshot. That's right. I forgot. He's just
We find out
Deadshot.
any information you give us is false.
Dude, that armor is
Find out
sick.
you have personalized
Yes.
license plates. You die.
What? No.
If you cough without covering your mouth.
Harley, although that isn't an open invitation for you to cough without covering your mouth.
What's the plan?
King
How am I
Shark.
supposed to know?
You're the leader. You're supposed to be decisive.
And I've decided that you should eat a big bag of dicks.
I love that they kept his accent.
If somebody said I'd eat every dick until the beach was clean for liberty, I would say no problemo.
Why would someone put penises all over the beach?
Who knows why madmen do what they do?
This is suicide.
Well, that's kind of our thing.
Don't you worry, I'm gonna get you out of here alive.
I'm going to get you out of here alive.
Oh my god, we've got a freaking kaiju up in this shit!
Kaiju.
We love the rain. It's like angels are splooching all over us.
Sylvester Stallone, dude. Let's go.
So I got a quick question.
Yeah.
Is Constantine gay? Or bi?
No, Constantine. Oh, he might be bi. Wasn't there? What was there a scene where he was like did something like that? Right?
Because in Justice League Dark, he said, "Oh, my ex is here," in that one scene, and then
oh, that's right. Yes,
like,
yes.
And then King Shark was
yeah. He might be bi. Yeah, I remember that scene, but he's definitely not just gay because he hooks up with what's her name in that.
The
Zatanna.
chick who speaks backwards. Yeah. Her spells are all words backwards.
Yeah. God, what a movie that was, man.
Wow.
I love how they gave Constantine such a huge part in that too. He was awesome.
Mm-hmm. I love the way he says like his stuff.
Yeah. Oh man, but yeah, that trailer was awesome. August 6th. That's quite a ways, but I'm very excited for that. That looks awesome.
When was that?
August 6th.
August 6th.
Coming out on HBO Max.
Good.
See, in theaters and HBO Max, so that's gonna be cool.
Good.
No extra cost. That's what I love about HBO Max too. No extra costs compared to Disney Plus, where you got to pay like $30 for a movie that's gonna come out on Disney Plus for free in like 3 months. So I always hated that. But okay, let's get into some. Oh, you know what? Give us the plugs, Myles. If you would like to hear more content like that, Myles, please tell them where they could find our podcast.
Sortainteresting.com. That's this podcast and the podcast from the past. That's our home. That's where you can find us. That's where you can find all of our links to Patreon, patreon.com/sortainteresting. Donate, start at the $1 level. Give us anything, charity, help us. We're starving out here. It's hard out here for
For a podcaster.
Yeah, so we got a Twitter, we're on everything, honestly. We're on Twitter at Sorta Interesting, right? Podcast.
No G. Yeah.
No G. Instagram. We're on a SoundCloud. We're on Spotify. Podcast app for Apple, Google Play Store, anywhere that podcasts are available, we're there. We're in your ear, we're in your house, we're in your mouth, we're everywhere.
Yeah, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got a little over 80 subscribers now. That's pretty cool. Our Mummy Returns video at like 14,000 views, which is pretty crazy. It keeps going up. I think it might be a little under 15,000 now. And then our I think we had another video that just went to 1,000 views too. I think it's like the other Mummy video, which is pretty cool. Oh no, I think it was Pacific Rim. I think that went to 1,000. But
interesting.
But yeah, go ahead and search our name on YouTube. Just Sorta Interesting. We pop up right there. Don't have a URL yet, but that's up to you. If you want to subscribe to us, we're gonna need that URL.
On you people.
Let's get into some production details for Beerfest. Your release date, August 25th, 2006. 2006, not a great year for movies. The top 3 movies of that year were Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, which I like that movie, but a lot of people don't like that. The Da Vinci Code, which was a fucking steaming pile of shit. I remember watching that in the movie theater. I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? God, that movie sucked. And coming in number 3 is Ice Age: The Meltdown, which who cares?
Which one was that one?
That's the second one. I think that was the second one with where the mammoth finds a girlfriend, which is weird.
Oh god.
The director J. I'm going to say this wrong. Chandra Sekhar? Is that
Chandra Sekhar?
Chandra Sekhar. Okay. AKA Barry Badgernath in this movie. His IMDb is insane. By the way, he did a couple episodes of Arrested Development. He did that episode Love Is Blind. Do you remember that one with Julia Louis-Dreyfus?
Oh,
the lawyer who's blind, who's supposedly blind, and then fucking Tobias is like sneaking around, trying to like sneak around and shit.
Like
dude.
She knows.
Yeah. She like corners him.
Really
she like corners him, and he's like, I gotta get out of here. Oh man,
it's like Snake. Like his legs are up in the air at one point,
he's trying to like flip over. He's like climbing shit on the walls. Oh my god, dude, such a fucking funny episode. And then he also directed The Dukes of Hazzard, the movie, which was not good. And she's done a shitload of TV shows. He's done written for Community, Royal Pains, New Girl, The Goldbergs. He's all over the place, man.
He's done almost everything, man. It's crazy.
He's done like almost every big show out there right now. Written on there. The writers, the whole Broken Lizard comedy troupe, pretty much. And then the budget was $17.5 million, box office $20.4 million, which is not great, but again, these Broken Lizard movies have such a huge cult following. And then a runtime of 1 hour and 57 minutes. Myles, what were your initial thoughts of Beerfest before we get into a rundown here?
I don't remember my first. Okay, let me start over. I don't remember watching this in theaters. Obviously, we're too young.
Yeah, we were hard R that movie. No way we could watch that.
We weren't even in middle school yet, or in high school yet.
Yeah, 2006. What was that, like 7th grade?
8th grade, roughly.
Yeah, 8th grade. Then. Yeah,
2007 was freshman year.
2006. This movie came out.
Yeah. So I don't remember where I was at the time. I just know I wasn't watching this. But when I did watch it, I fell in love with this movie from the very first get-go.
Absolutely.
I had seen Super Troopers, and I had not really made the connection. You know, I didn't know who.
Oh, that they're the same people.
Yeah, that they're the same people. Not until way later, and then, man, this movie, it really makes you want to crack open a beer.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And not just drink it, not just sip it. You want to chug this
Chug
beer.
that motherfucker.
You want to speak in a German accent, and you just want to yell at the top of your lungs, "Hot cheese soup!"
This movie's dangerous. Yeah, you'll start drinking the second this movie comes on. So you gotta be prepared. You know.
Yeah, I love this movie, and even watching it before I could even drink. From the get, I still to this day, this is one of my top comedy movies of all time. It's up there. And I could just watch this all over and over again. This movie's so great. Even though it does, I didn't remember it being that long.
It did feel a little longer this time because, you know, I could tell you right now, just that scene with Landfill dying and that whole funeral scene, I'm like, okay, that just added like another like 15 minutes. They don't need any of that.
Some scenes in there that have been extended out that I don't ever remember seeing, like when I was younger, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know where you got this copy from, but it was there was a lot more to it.
Was there? Okay, yeah, I don't remember.
Drawn out scenes, yeah. That I'm glad got cut.
Yeah.
In like some edited version, but yeah. What do you think?
Oh man, yeah, I absolutely love this movie. It's probably one of my favorite comedy movies of all time, and definitely my favorite movie from the Broken Lizard guys. But I do remember watching this for the first time. I remember my sister and we watched it during the summer. Every week we would go to Blockbuster or Hollywood Video back in those days and just pick out just a bunch of shit, right, just to watch for the week. And I vividly
across the street.
Oh no, not at that one. It was at my dad's house. So, but I vividly remember Beerfest being one of them, and we must have been like 13. When that came out, so
14,
yeah,
15,
mathematically speaking, we had to be at least 13 or 14.
At least 13.
So yeah, I didn't know shit about drinking at that time, but I still remember loving it and couldn't wait to drink my fucking first beer. Which, thinking about it now, was not long after that. It was probably like at like 14 or 15 after.
Yeah,
that was right. Yeah, it was like the first time I got drunk and drank beer, but yeah, back to the actual details of the movie. This is Broken Lizard, probably at their finest, honestly. When I think of these guys, these are the characters that I go to in my head when I think of all these actors. These are probably the best characters they've played. And this has probably been the best and the funniest story they've written so far. And honestly, the best part of the movie is probably the ensemble cast. Like, all the German guys are so fucking hilarious. They're fantastic. Of course, most of them not actually German. But there are some real German guys mixed in there, and just I like they just roll with these German stereotypes that they're just so ridiculous, but it works so well. And also, one theme that I noticed this time around watching all these Broken Lizard movies, they managed to get one big actor in all these, and they end up being fucking. Are you all right?
I'm trying to get my chair up. It keeps sinking. Like something's up with this.
like in The Office. Yeah, they always end up getting one big actor for their movies, and they end up being fucking fantastic in them. Like Slam and Salmon, they had Michael Clark Duncan. My favorite part about that movie. In Super Troopers, they had Brian Cox, the captain who was
the captain or whatever.
Oh my god, dude, that is a top tier award winning actor, and for them to get him, that's incredible. And then in this movie, Donald Sutherland, the father of Kiefer Sutherland, the fucking I need to talk to the president of the United States. Man, Donald, I wish he was in the movie more, because just that little tidbit that we get in the beginning was so fucking funny and so good. But yeah, to round it out, this movie has so much rewatchability. I've seen it over probably like 10 times, and I will continue to watch it for the rest of my life probably.
Yes.
Yes. And it just cheers me up every time. It just never fails to make me laugh. I'm always in a good mood after watching it. And not only that, I think it's a special movie between me and you and like our friend group. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like and Matt especially, because that's like the movie that kind of bonded us all together. Like when we first started hanging out, honestly, like we were in high school and been quoting that shit for like over a decade.
Like Step Brothers, you know,
yeah.
And it was between those two movies that we would just bond.
This movie, this is a special movie for our friendship here, and it's had a big impact on the comedy that we do all the time, just the things we say, and when we drink and stuff. It's always the go-to whenever we're drunk and stuff. So it's got a bigger impact than usual with other movies. But Myles, let's get into a plot rundown here. So the movie opens up in a shady back room where we're introduced to Jan Wolfhouse. Played by Paul Sorta. Then we see him playing some drinking games for money with some shady characters. Then Jan tries to make a quarter into a pint of beer, but it bounces back into his face. What he calls chance. And has to make his quarter into a tall vase filled with beer.
Rim rolls?
Rim rolls.
Everybody?
It's just these like little things. I'm like, what? This is like a whole nother world I'm not even familiar with. Then he nails the shot, and these shady characters are about to beat him up for hustling them.
Yours, Johnny Cash.
There you go. You see, you got all the quips. You know this stuff better than I do. And then when in walks his brother Todd Wolfhouse, played by Eric Stolhansky. And it's revealed that the head guy is actually a priest, and he chugs a beer before walking out to the service. He's like, Father or Padre?
He said, Padre? I'll come back for the rest.
And that was like, yeah, just to see this guy chug the beer, I'm like, whoa. I've never seen anybody like chug beers like this. This is crazy when I first saw this.
And that was like a legit beer burp after chugging that.
That's what I want to. You know? That's what I want to like know. Were these actual beers that people were drinking? Because how do you get like
some of them
all the foam and the way they burp after? I'm like, you could only get that kind of burp after a beer. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't get that from like sodas. That's always beer.
It's too spicy. Soda's too spicy. Yeah. It's flat, and then it's just like
those are like guttural, like from the gut burps, like nasty, liquidy burps. You know,
all you gotta do is open the mouth. You don't push anything out. It's just there
in the face. After it's like. Then we cut to the funeral service of Johann Wolfhouse, played by the legendary Donald Sutherland, father of Kiefer Sutherland. Of course, I need to speak to the president of the United States. And then a last video of Johann. Last video Johann on his deathbed plays during the service, and during this video, the fucking guy chugs like 4 beers that I want to believe were actual real beers, because dude, when he chugs them, you could see his eyes like all watery and his face gets red. I'm like, that only happens when you're drinking beer. You know what I'm saying?
He's looking good down there.
Looking good down there. And then we learn he left Johann and Todd he left not Johann, Jan. I keep saying Jan. I think it's Jan. Left Jan and Todd his doll Popo. It's Popo. And he ends the video by pulling the plug on himself, which is
good night, Popo.
So crazy. I remember watching this scene for the first time, just being amazed by how fast he chugged those beers. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
And I was crying laughing the first time I saw that when he pulled his own plug.
So crazy and over the top, man. Then we cut to the family restaurant, Schnitz and Giggle and Gam Gam, played by the great Cloris Leachman, of course, who, rest in peace, she just died probably a few months ago. And then Gam Gam tells Jan and Todd that it is family tradition to spread the ashes of the Wolf House loved ones in Munich, and they need to go immediately. She mentions the Oktoberfest festival going on. They will meet Mr. Schniedelwischen over there. And the boys are now in Germany at Oktoberfest, which looks so fucking fun and awesome. I would love to go to that someday. We get our first introduction to Baron Wolfgang von Wolfhausen, who we'll learn about later. Then a group of Australians start singing an Australian drinking song and pass it on to the Wolf House boys, but they blank on an American drinking song, so they start singing 99 bottles of beer on the wall. I love how they keep going, and then 97 bottles of beer on the wall. And then the Australians get offended and start to press the boys, and then Todd backs up into a woman.
That bloody Jingo Jango.
That bloody Jingo Jango. And then a woman with a tray knocks over other people into a woman whose shirt gets torn open. And then she turns around and she tears open the shirts of two other girls, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!"
Dude, they extended out too, like this scene, like to another set of girls.
Yeah. There was like a whole. Yeah, there was like another. There's a third set of girls in there. I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
Which was so fucking over the top and unnecessary. But Myles, I wouldn't.
Let's just have at that moment, everybody was just all together, like
yeah. They all like got together. Yeah. I wouldn't have it any other way, Myles. This is so fucking funny. And then a man walking around with hot cheese soup sends the soup flying.
Cheese soup.
Thank you.
Dude, I would yell that for like a whole.
You have been saying that for the last decade and a half, probably.
Yeah, I have been saying that for a long time.
And then the soup goes flying into a dude with a hammer. The hammer knocks a keg open, and then we get the this is for Farland's gone wild. Just kiss each other, yeah.
Yeah, I love the stereotypical accents they give them. You know,
they're so bad, but it's so fucking funny.
This is for Fräulein's gone wild.
Fräulein's gone wild. Then eventually a barrel knocks over a little kid. He starts crying, and they go after the Wolf House boys.
Oi! He hit the little kid.
And then the tent collapses, and they are found by Mr. Schniedelwischen, who leads them away. And they go into a dark alley and approach a door. And then a bunch of crazy underground shit is going around. We got the fucking I need you.
Which is actually Fink's character, who we haven't met yet.
Dude, he's rocking a fucking strap-on. That's like a massive strap-on.
He's wearing the suspenders with a wife beater, and he's just dancing around.
His little dance.
I like how his introduction just goes, "Hello," and
he starts like kissing on his neck. Oh my god, dude, so fucking funny. And then I like this part too, because Mr. Schniedelwischen's like speaking German the whole time too. He's like, it's not even like real German. It's like, he's just speaking like just gibberish, but it sounds so good. Yeah. And they approach another door, and the man asks Mr. Schniedelwischen for the password. The password! And then Schniedelwischen starts yodeling, and they are let in. And then
a fucking yodel, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then the Wolf Houses wonder what is going on when another door opens, and they are introduced to Beerfest. And on the stage, we see the Japanese drinking against the Italians. The Italians, by the way, they're rocking like the people who roll the gondolas.
I know, right? They look. I don't know how to put it. They look like Robin Hood.
Yeah, it's so fucking
They
funny.
all look like Robin Hood, kind of.
I like the Japanese guys wearing like the school like uniforms too, just like all like the stereotypical stuff.
The Japanese team.
Yeah,
right? They're wearing like full on like kind of like anime characters.
It was his uniform in Tokyo Drift, basically.
Yeah, basically.
And they look around and see other games being played, like Quarters, which is Quaikabout. Quaikabout. Yeah, you go ahead and say the German there. And then they're playing beer pong, which is
Bier Paddlekugel.
And they got upside down chugs.
They got the monkey. I can't remember.
Monkey Quaika.
Where they're all hanging upside down.
Yeah.
The first when they got to that, the guy is drinking it, just spilling it all over his face.
And then the boys meet the English team. And he explains what Beerfest is, and he tells them there is no American team. And then he slaps his friend. This is my friend.
This is my mate or whatever.
And then the crowd starts mobbing towards the stage, shouting, Das Boot! Das Boot! And then on the stage, we see the Irish and the Germans facing off, and we see the last guy has to chug out of a shoe, and the British guy says, "That's no shoe! That's just boot!" And then everybody starts chatting out Das Boot. Then the ref calls out, "Auf Drinkest!" And then we see how fast the fucking Germans are at chugging. And then just a little thing that we always carried on since that day. After they chug their beer, they fucking slam it on the table. And then I remember drinking.
By the way,
yeah, go ahead.
This is Beerfest.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like that's what the British were. The British guys were saying like this is the Oktoberfest is for scousers, shape shaggers, and this is Beerfest. This is with people that like this is for bragging rights.
Yeah, this is like where it's like a real drinker. That's his metal. That's his metal.
That's what this is.
Yeah, I remember. It just brings me back whenever they do that slam and yell. It brings me back to those days when we play beer pong just every time. Just, after every cup. Then Mr. Schneedelvision brings the brothers on the stage and introduces them to the German team and tells them that they are cousins. And we are introduced to the German team. Rolf, played by Nate Faxon, sorry. And then Gunter, played by Eric Christian Olsen, aka Young Lloyd from that Dumb and Dumber. They still got my favorite flavors, cherry and green. And then Otto, played by Will Forte. And then Rolf starts yelling at Mr. Schneedelvision for bringing Americans to the Beerfest. Need to bring Americana. And then
It's fine. You do not bring Americana.
there you go. You got all these lines better than I do. And then he is taken away. Mr. Schneedelvision's taken away, and he is shot. And then Gunter tells the boys, that their grandfather was not a real von Wolfhausen, and he stole their grandfather's beer recipe, which is supposed to be, "It was the greatest beer in all of the world."
No, Germany will have what best.
Go ahead. Yeah, we have whatever, and then he said, und Becks. And
Which
then
is an actual beer.
yeah, that's actually a pretty good beer too. I like Unbecks. Excuse me. And then they say that it is supposed to be the greatest beer in the world, and that their grandfather ran off with Gam Gam, who is, what is the American word I am looking for?
I think your lines got cut. I think there's a translation issue. He said, "Prostitute, slut for money."
Slut for money. Then the boys take offense to Gam Gam being called a whore. And then Rolf goes full Arnold on them. He's like, "Yeah, do it. Hit me. I'm here. Do it.
You ready for kill me?
Come on, do it." And then Otto calls them, "You typical Americans. That is why we don't invite you to Beerfest. You got a couple of drinks in you, becomes a dirty Harry. And then Jan tells the Germans to pick their best two because they just opened up a can of corn. And then the Germans call up their anchors. Hammaker, played by Ralph Moeller from Gladiator. And then Schlemmer, played by Gunter Schlepperkamp, who was a former Mr. Olympia contender, if you can't tell by his fucking massive body. And then what's his name? One of the guys that you has the best two. How about the first two? Yeah. How about the first two? Then they're each given a pitcher of beer to chug, and the brothers get clowned the fuck out. And we are introduced again to Wolfgang von Wolfhausen, who sends them back home to America and tells them to get a BJ from their great grandma. On me. By the way, this guy, this actor who plays Wolfgang von Wolfhausen, also in the original Dune movie. I just fucking watched that. I was like, whoa, this is fucking blew in my mind. He was the dad of Muad'Dib when he's the one who had the tooth and he killed himself.
Oh,
yeah.
What?
And then the first person they recruit. Hold on, sorry. And then cut to the boys back home, and they are out for revenge now. Want to go back and beat those guys. And then we get a line where Jan was like, "Gam Gam couldn't be not more of a whore."
Yodeling.
And she's like walks off and starts yodeling. She's like, can't be more not a whore.
Not a whore.
And they decide to put together their own team of the biggest drinkers, the best beer gamers, and the fastest chuggers. And the first person they recruit is Landfill, played by Kevin Heffernan, who we see at a county fair in a hot dog eating competition. So fucking funny. Where he points and then the guy turns around and he eats one of his hot dogs.
Yeah, so his hot dogs, dude. Oh, I love it.
So fucking funny.
He ends up winning, right? Yeah.
And then he ends up winning and he meets up with the boys and then he tells them, I haven't seen you guys since Hands Across America? And they get their hands together. Hands across America.
So that's something that we always do together too.
Yeah. Oh my God, me, you, and Matt all the time. Hands across America, baby. Then it's just such a fucking little joke. It's like Hands Across America was a real thing back in like the 90s, where like people like literally across the nation would like hold hands. So it's such a like little inside joke that is so fucking funny, man. Then
before that though, when he was talking about like
go ahead.
They were catching up. He's like, last time I saw you, you were working at a brewery. And then he just takes the trophy that he just won. He's like, God damn! He just chucks it across the entire lot.
Yeah, and then go ahead.
Or like what? Like 1,000 beers a day, and I drink 45 off the assembly line, and I'm the asshole.
And then what's his name? Todd was like, we heard you killed someone, went to jail, and he's like, yeah, I did 3 years in the pen. I got out. Praise Allah.
He said became Muslim. Praise Allah.
Praise Allah. Then of course he's in. Then the next person they recruit is Fink.
Like the little jump. Like,
yeah.
It's like 2 inches of air.
His shirts are so tight, by the way. When he's eating the hot dogs, he's like got another shirt underneath, and it's like barely like covering him. Then the next person they recruit is Fink, played by Steve Lemmy, who's a scientist working in a lab jerking off frogs for their semen. They like approach him, and then Landfill was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "We're extracting the semen." He's like, "You're jerking them off."
Frog gametes for cloning.
Yeah, there you go.
Jerking them off.
You're jerking them off.
So who's the dump truck or something? Like
who's the hippo?
Who's the hippo?
And then the fucking part, dude, when they cut back to Landfill and he's like erasing the board, and he's like looking back, like, yeah, hey, don't do that. There's like formulas and shit all over the board. And then of course Fink is in. Yeah, what happened?
When Fink makes the fucking. When Fink makes the freaking.
You just. In the background you just hear fucking like frogs moaning and it gets faster and faster. And then
so you hear it like come and then
Fink after he's like like he just got done and he smokes a cigarette.
Right there in the lab.
Like he just got done having sex. And then the final recruit is Barry Badgernath, who is the best beer gamer ever. And then Barry and Todd had a falling out after college after Barry banged his girl. And then they find Barry in a seedy part of town. We learn that he is now a male prostitute. And then he approaches the car and doesn't recognize them. And he says, all right, fellas, here's how it works. $1 to look at it, $2 to touch it, $3 to watch me touch it. And then Antonio approaches the car and he's like, ooh, he's like something about like, ooh, we got a lot of men in here or something. And then Barry, back the fuck up, Antonio. My dick. It's my dick. And then he's like, where was I here? $5 to touch it while I touch my toes. $6 to touch it while I touch your toes. And then he finally recognizes his old friends.
Oh.
And then he carries on $10 for a BJ, $12 for an HJ, and $15 for a ZJ. And then someone asked, what's a ZJ?
It was Fink. Was like, what's a ZJ?
Oh no, there was a landfill. Landfill. He's like, what's a ZJ? If you gotta ask, big guy, you can't afford it. You can't afford it. And then Fink comes in. I got $4.
He said no.
And then Landfill's like, yeah, don't do that.
Landfill's sitting in the middle seat. He's fat as fucking.
Like, you want to sit on this side?
You want to sit on this side? Fuck you.
And then Jan tells Barry about Beerfest and tells him to show them the old coin tricks on a coffee cup. But Barry has lost it now. And dude, when he's tossing the coins. And then the other prostitutes go fighting for a quarter, and then Barry's lost it now, so he breaks a fucking bottle over his head. He says, "Get the fuck out of here!" And then Antonio goes running, screaming down the street. And this time,
pulls up, he's like, "Moving along, man. I got a mouth to feed."
I got a mouth to feed. This part I didn't realize. When Antonio starts running down the street, everybody else gets in the car except for Fink. Fink goes running down the street with them. And then back at the restaurant, the team is trying to think of another team member when Barry comes in and he's drunk and he wants in on the team, and he tells him, "You're washed up, man. Go home." And he says, "Oh yeah," and he starts going off on darts. He's like not even looking, just getting the bullseye every time,
hitting every single ball in on the break, with one hand on the cue stick.
He's got that little change thing that people had at like Skate Depot and shit. And then fucking just making all the quarters and shit. And he says,
he's going cold. Landing on top of bottles
and people's mouths and off of foreheads. And he says, "I'm better when I'm drunk." And now they've got themselves a team. And they cut to their first day of training, and they have a new training facility. Then Jan tries to get Barry to play a game of Pong, but Barry plays it off like, "I'll just leave it up to the amateurs, all right?"
The amateurs.
Yeah. He says he doesn't need practice, and his hand starts to shake while he's holding the paddle. And then Todd tells Fink to figure out the secret to beating Das Boot. And their first task is to finish a keg of beer between the 5 of them. And then they all struggle with their first drink because it's so cold.
Drinking and moving.
And then he's like, it's too cold. It's making me stop a little bit here. I might have a cavity.
Yeah, that's right. They might have a cavity.
He's like, "I have a cavity here," and they didn't even make a dent in the keg at the end of by the next day.
That whole night was fucking hilarious. When they're talking about, it was Barry and who was it? Not Jan. Who's
Todd?
the other
Todd.
Brother Todd.
Yeah.
Barry and Todd. Barry was just trying to bury the hatchet on the on the whole girlfriend situation about sleeping with her. He was like, "I mean, come on, she just laid there."
Oh, that's right.
He's like, "I have to have married that plastic fuck doll."
I like how they cut back, and then he just tackles him like out of the side of the screen.
On next to the cake.
Yeah.
Goes up. And then he just comes out of nowhere and tackles Barry.
Then the brothers admit that they're going to need a little help if they're going to beat the Germans, and head off to Gam Gam's house. And we are introduced to Cherry, aka Gam Gam's nurse, played by Monique. And then Gam Gam brings in some summer sausage. "Let me warm it up for you." She starts fucking jacking it off and fucking hitting it, and then Jan was like, okay, I think we got it. We're good. And then
the whole country must have been fucked up.
She was saying something about like the Germans could like put like 6 inches into their throat.
Oh no, she was like, "You have to relax the muscle for your throat." And she's like, I myself can get about at least 9 inches. Watch.
She's like, "Yeah, watch me." And then they're like, no, Gam Gam, don't. And then Gam Gam tells the team that the Germans used to drink ram's piss because fuck, if you could drink that, you could drink anything.
Just like she said, fuck.
And then Monique takes her to have her nap, and then before Gam Gam leaves, she's like, I always sleep better with a little sausage in me. and then Todd and Jan kind of look at each other like, fuck, man, she might be a whore.
I like the little part like when they're leaving.
Yeah.
And they all have popsicles.
Popsicle. And then they try to drink some ram's piss, but it doesn't go well. So Fink suggests they go out and mix it up with some randoms to challenge themselves. And they show up to a house party to play some drinking games, and everybody at this party looks like they're like in their 20s, and then our team here looks like they're in their fucking 40s at least. And then they get a little like compilation of drinking games. I don't know if you want to go into detail about that. They play like
we got the
Would You Rather or something.
I wanted to do was the when you had the we had Fink doing the strikeout.
Oh yeah,
where it was all right. He's talking to the guy. He's like, all right, this is you can do a strikeout. This you take a hit from the bong, chug your beer, take a shot, then you exhale.
That's
he
so
does
hard
that,
to do.
It's just like, ooh, and then he starts coughing.
He just like
slowly
goes on the
down
ground.
to the ground, and he's just going to sleep. So that part right there, they
Yeah.
extended it out a little bit.
Oh,
You know
okay.
how he was talking to
His
one of
paper boy.
classmates? Or one,
Yeah.
not his paper boy. His classmate, his paper boy.
Mm.
That part was never in any other version that I ever watched.
Okay.
So I think that was a little drawn out right there.
Mhm.
And then the part where they had where Todd was dressed as a bride and Barry was dressed as a groom.
Yeah.
And they both had boxing gloves on in
Boxing.
the backyard, fucking boxing. And,
So fucking funny. And then the party eventually gets rolled by police. And then the next morning, the team rides home on a long ass fucking 5-person bike, which is so fucking funny, dude. Yeah, where do you even get that? And then they have that great like Spanish song playing in the background too. I can't remember how it goes, but it was so fucking funny. Yeah. Era volado. It's so fucking good, dude. It was like, oh my god, that song is so fucking
Hi,
funny.
Todd.
Yeah. And they're like, 1, 2, 3. They all have to go at the same time. Era volado. Oh man, what a great song to have in the background. And then back at the training facility, Fink has figured out about the bubble in the boot that causes the explosion in the drinker's face, but hasn't figured out a solution yet. And then Popo's and then what's his name? Landfill starts fucking with Popo. And then the head falls off, and they find a piece of paper with a beer recipe in it, and realize it's a secret recipe that the Germans are after. And then they brew the beer up, and it is magical. Someone's like, I want to stick my dick in it.
stick in me. And then Barry's like, I want to freeze it in the winter, skate on it, melt it into springtime, and drink it.
And drink it. His face was so lit up. And then at the very end, Todd was like, that means Gam Gam really was a whore then. And then meanwhile, back in Germany at their training facility, they're training like fucking Ivan Drago and Rocky 4 with instead of boxing gloves, they have beer though. They're like holding it over their heads and shit.
Dude, it was a keg above his head.
Dude, he's fucking jacked, man.
Lat,
Woo!
biceps, his bicep, dude, everything was just out there.
And then they get a special delivery from the guy from Psych, which is such a fucking funny cameo.
Right?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
definitely him. I had to look it up. I was like, man, it looks like him, and then I looked it up. Yeah, it's definitely him. It was like, it was during the first season of Psych too. Like they both premiered, or like this came out during the premiere of Psych, which is pretty crazy.
Awesome.
It has a special delivery, and it is marked most urgent. And then Wolfgang opens up the package, and it is the secret recipe beer. They take the guy from Psych and dispose of him. And then they put like all the fucking tubes of beer all up his nose and mouth.
With the rubber hose.
With the rubber hose. And then they head to America to get that recipe. And then back at the restaurant, our team is playing some drinking games, and Barry has to finish his beer and then eat a tomato in one bite. And then he is completely hammered at this point.
I had that says it's a box on his
Asshole.
head with the flap flipped up like a brim, and it reads asshole across.
Eat that tomato in one bite, asshole. Asshole. Then he heads to the bathroom, and he is now in a drunken fantasy. And then he looks into the mirror, and he says, looking good. Looking good, you handsome motherfucker. And he's got like this like disco attire on. And then he hits the dance floor. And then he
The camera in that state, it turns to like the soft edges, so you can tell it's like some like inebriated state where he's not. It's one of those where
complete fantasy here, and he gets to the dance floor and he hits on this one woman, and he's like, "Whoa, we gotta get you out of those wet clothes and into a dry martini."
It's like what?
And I was martini.
She said, "Ew, get away from me." He said, "All right,
all right." Then he meets an absolute smoke show. Yeah, the way he dances and his hair, dude. His hair is so like wavy. It looks awesome. He meets an absolute smoke show on the dance floor with the opening theme song from fucking Pulp Fiction, by the way, that Django Boogie. Django Boogie. Not Pulp. Is it Pulp Fiction? Yeah, I think it was Pulp Fiction. Yeah. Fucking awesome, dude. And then they go back to Barry's place and make sweet, sweet love. No, what did she say first? She was like, "Can I get a sex on the beach?"
He said, "I think my place is closer." She's like, "Oh, you're looking for a little slap tickle."
What a great line. Well, I think my place is closer. They go back to Barry's place, and they make sweet, sweet love. And they have like a bunch of like flashbacks.
Just like, damn, Daddy, that's nasty. He's got like the red fur everywhere.
Oh, but actually, before they leave, what's his name? Todd and Jan were like, Barry, are you sure about this? You're pretty drunk. And he's like, you kidding me? She's hot as hell.
You're drunk. I'm drunk. Everybody's
drunk. And then Barry wakes up the next morning next to Monique, and we get a flashback of last night, and it was Monique the entire time. And there's like that line where they're having sex. She's like, I'm gonna break your dick off.
Like when she in the scene where they're going back and forth, like, all right, he experienced this, he saw this, but it was really this. So when she was putting the blindfold on him,
the best part.
It was actually Monique. She put a fucking.
It's the funniest part. And the way he was breathing, he couldn't breathe.
Like mustard with my hot dog. Just squirt mustard on him.
It's the fucking funniest part. You can see like the bag going into his mouth. He's like, and then it snaps back to current day, and then Barry looks at the camera and says, "Come on, I knew it the whole time," and cuddles up with Monique, which is so fucking funny.
God, dude, that was
so good.
I love the plastic bag.
And the Germans are now in America in a submarine, which was a little homage to a movie called Das Boot from back in the day, a German movie which starred the grandfather. He was the guy. That's why he said, I had a bad experience in one of these once.
Oh shit!
Because he was in the movie Das Boot. And then he said, "All right, guys, are we ready for Operation Recipe Retrieve?" And then like, have we settled on a name for that yet? Because I don't like that.
Yeah, I was thinking Brauheis 2000.
Brauheis 2006.
Or wait, 2007?
No, it was 2006, and they were like, what if it goes on to 2007? I had some big plans for 2007, yes.
Be done by 2007.
And they're like, no, this is my operation, Recipe Retrieve. And then the Germans enter the restaurant. The way Will Forte walks in, he says, "Hello, Dirty Harrys."
I like how they all have the collars popped up too.
Oh, wearing gray polos. All the collars are popped up. Hello, Dirty Harrys.
Barge into shits and giggle.
And then they offer the Americans to buy the recipe off of them with euros. What are you talking about? Those are euros.
Then Kevin's landfill is just like, what are those, like pesos?
Yeah. He's like, you can't fool us with your monopoly money. Then they offer them 500,000 American dollars, but they refuse. So the Germans challenge the Americans to a game of Pong for the recipe. So Todd turns to Barry to team up, but Barry he refuses and he quits the team. And then the next day, the brothers are watching the news and see a smear campaign against them, and the Germans are claiming a hostile work environment, and the place is infested with rats. He's like,
that part too on TV. I don't ever remember seeing that in any.
I don't remember that either. Yeah,
which actually a really funny piece that I think they should have kept.
And he's like, I found a rat fetus in my beer or whatever. And then the customers start calling the restaurant and canceling their resis. Then Fink shows up to the restaurant and says he has to quit the team for his performance, and he created some kind of like monkey rat thing on accident.
Frog monkey combo.
Yeah,
like
so weird.
Yeah. Well, it can't be that bad. The Todd looks in the back. Dear God, what have you done?
Dear God. Then Landfill shows up also, and he says his wife and kids left him. Then he stumbles over to the training facility and discovers Monique is the one sabotaging the restaurant and steals the recipe and pushes him into the vat of beer. Then Landfill tries to drink his way out.
You could tell. You could so clearly see the stunt double that when she pulled over he's punching.
Landfill tries to drink his way out of the vat of beer, but he drowns to death. And then Todd puts an end to the team with and then at the during this whole thing with the ambulance, you hear in the background that every rose has its thorn. So fucking funny. And then at the funeral service, Gam Gam tells the team to get their shit together and go win that competition. And then I think at this funeral service, Barry and Todd's like girlfriend or wife meet up together, right? And then she's like, "How's the silo doing?" And he's like, "Ooh, the silo." Yeah. And then Barry finally admits that he doesn't play Pong anymore after an incident in Thailand that resulted in a ping pong paddle being shoved up his ass. And it wasn't the handle. Been shin pancakes ever since. And then Fink asks the guy who's going to replace Landfill, when in walks in Landfill's twin brother Gil, and he joins the team, and he asks the team to call him Landfill, and this whole part is just so ridiculous.
So stupid, because it just made that whole thing just
worthless. I think it was just literally to fill time so they could get to that that feature length movie, like
to keep him, yeah.
So they could pad out the movie to get to a feature length. But yeah, that's probably my least favorite part of the whole movie, honestly, that whole funeral scene. Like, why? He's coming back anyways. And then our team gets to Germany, but they have one problem. They don't remember where the secret door to Beerfest is located because they were shit-faced the first time around. So Fink comes up with an idea to get Todd shit-faced again to relive the memory. Then Todd gets wasted off of some Goldschlager from Superbad. And then they leads them back to the secret entrance, but they use last year's password, which was the yodeling. And that doesn't get them in, so they Trojan horse themselves into a barrel of beer that gets taken in. And their first opponent is England, and their first game is Volume Chug, which was just chugging out of a massive container, basically. And then Landfill takes this first game for them. And their next game is beer pong, but Todd is too shit-faced to even play, so England takes that round. And then they play the trick quarters, which Barry takes. And then we see the Germans playing against Mexico. Myles, did you notice this scene when they played against Mexico? Look who it is, fucking ladies and gentlemen. Steve Gomez, aka Gomi from Breaking Bad.
What?
Gomi was on
the
scene.
It was. Oh my god, that's right. They're sitting at the bar, right?
Yeah, he had no lines, but he was the one who was like sitting across.
He had the face where he just...
Yeah, that's when he puts the dice down. He's like,
yeah.
What is the English word? The Mexican? And then he lifts it up. The Mexican? Which I don't understand. It was like a 3. I don't know what it has to do with a Mexican.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe a Mexican standoff because there's 3. I don't know. I don't know what that means, but yeah, Steve Gomi, man. What a cameo. And then both teams eventually make it to the championship round, but first Team USA needs to pee. And then while at the piss trough, Fink looks down and sees the pee going down the drain and figures out the secret to Das Boot. And he fills up a shoe with pee and demonstrates the need to spin the boot at the last second to avoid the bubble. He goes up to like one of the guys. He's like, "Can you fill her up with one of his shoes?" And then their first game is now it's USA versus Germany in the finals, and then their first game is long distance Kruger bounce, and it is Barry versus Otto. And they start the distance off at 10 meters, and Barry makes it no problem. So Otto moves the bucket 20 meters.
20 meters.
You're not gonna make that, man. 30 meters. And then he nails that one, and they take round 1. And then the next game is Monkey Chug. And then Fink versus Gunter, and Gunter easily snatches this one, taking round 2. The next is Beer Pong. Landfill and Jan versus Schlammer and Gunter, and they don't give a fuck about elbows in this game, man. They're all up on that table, you know what I mean? I do like how they have like the bigger ball though. I think beer pong would be pretty fun if it was a bigger ball. Just saying.
Yeah.
Maybe some weight to it too, you know. Man, I miss playing beer pong though, you know.
I do too.
We
play here.
Let's play it again.
Next time you come down.
Let's get it going, baby. And then they lose that round there. And the next game is beer pong with the paddles, which I don't know what they call that. Do they call both of those games beer pong? I don't know. Beer paddle cougar.
Beer
and it's Fink and Jan versus Hammacher and Otto, and a shit-faced Todd is forced to compete because he has not done any events. So the Germans were like, he needs to compete at least one event. And then Todd is forced to compete, and Barry volunteers to play with him, and USA wins round 4 after Barry does like an amazing save off the stage, and then lands in the beer. I like this part too because what's his name? Todd's like a second late on everything. Yeah, he's just in the middle, like all late, and then like Barry's behind him, like catching all the balls. And then the next game. And the most fun-looking game is the game of Thumper, which I'm not really too sure what the rules of this game are. But the way, what's his name? The way that the German guy loses was so fucking funny. They like do like the sides, and then he does the glasses like this. And then they're like, "Oh no, you did that wrong." And he's like, "No, I did this.
No, I said it. I did this.
I did this." Like, I don't even know what the rules are, but the way he did, he's like, no, this is so fucking funny. And then USA takes round 5. And the next game is Turbo Quarters, a competition to see who can make the most quarters in a glass while chugging a beer.
Yeah.
So cool. That was a cool game. And then USA takes round 6, tying it all up to a sudden death round, which means, Myles,
you know what that means.
Jaws boot. And then at first glance, it looks like Germany wins, but Jan says double or nothing for the secret recipe, but instead they will drink all boots instead of the normal beers. And before the race starts, and a scene that I totally forgot about that had me fucking crying, laughing. Fucking Rolf fucks with Fink's yarmulke, and it falls on the ground. He's like, "Oh look, I knocked off his little thingy."
I looked off his little thingy.
And then fucking Fink looks at his teammates, and then fucking Jan, he's like, "Oh my god, he's got the eye of the Jew."
Fink's got the eye of the Jew.
Dude, I forgot about that scene. I was fucking crying, laughing, dude. And they zoom in on Fink's eye, and has the Star of David
right in there, dude. Illuminated.
I was fucking crying. He's got the eye of the Jew. He's got the eye of the Jew. So they put Fink as the anchor now. And then the race is basically a tie, but it looks like Germany wins the race. But one drop drips out of the German boot, and USA is declared the winner of Beerfest. And then the brothers are given the key to the brewery. And then we get a little mid-credits scene here with the gang in Amsterdam, where they run into Willie Nelson. Do you remember that joke that he said? It was pretty fucking funny. He was like,
"Shit."
He's like, "Hey, have you guys heard the one where a father tells his son,
the kid went blind from masturbating too much?" And he's like, "Dad, I'm over here."
Dad, I'm over here. So it's just the way he says it too. It's so fucking funny. He's like, "Dad, I'm over here."
Dad, I'm over here.
Yeah, they run into Willie Nelson. He's smoking the devil's lettuce, La Lechuga de Diablo. And then they tease us, or they say, "Hey, my teammates are got caught up or something." And Cheech and Chong, man, that would have been so cool. Cheech and Chong can't make it, so you guys want to be my teammates? And they enter, which would be Potfest, a movie that unfortunately never came to fruition. Still holding out though. Maybe one day.
Yeah, I am too. They came out with Super Troopers 2, but that was all.
Yeah, that's a lot of work though. Yeah,
crowdfunded.
Yeah, to crowdfund
that was
that
all. So it's really up to the people.
I mean, yeah, I would definitely donate to that. That would be awesome to see.
Yeah, but Willie Nelson's old as shit.
I know they got to do it before he's gone, man. That's gonna suck. Or Cheech and Chong too. Got to do it before they go. But that is the end of Beerfest. What a fucking journey that was. What a fun recap that was. But Myles, did you have any trivia for this movie?
Oh yes. Hold on. Let me bring it up real quick. But I just want to ask you real quick. Like, what? I meant to ask you this before the movie started. What do you have a? It's hard to say favorite. Do you have a? What kind of beer do you like? What's your beer of preference? When it comes to something you could sit down and drink, and you could just, I don't know, you could drink it
I know you and I share a favorite. You and I love the Guinness. Like I could do Guinness all day. It's like a fucking milkshake.
Those nitro stouts.
Oh my god, it's a straight up. Favorite. It's an alcoholic milkshake. That Guinness. So I could always do that. Sometimes it's a little heavy though. Like if you drink a lot, it kind of just sits there for a while. But
that's true.
Probably my go-to if it's like a hot day and I just want a little like something light. I would probably go for Blue Moon. Honestly, Blue Moon is it's a lighter beer. It tastes good too, and it's like the level, the alcohol level is pretty good too. So you could drink a couple and feel pretty good. But I love Blue Moon. Blue Moon's great.
Oh yeah.
What about you?
I agree with you there. Excuse me. I like for a summer day, for a hotter day, I like hazies. But I've honestly
IPA
moved away from drinking a lot of beer.
It's heavy, man. Yeah, it adds up.
Very heavy. One IPA, you add that up, that could be like that's a whole Big Mac right there.
I can't drink. I mean, I have a hard time drinking IPAs now. I mean, there was a time when we were drinking a lot, so IPAs was like easy to drink. But like, if you don't drink IPAs for a while, it's hard to get back into. Like, it's a taste.
Especially when you get like some doubles, double IPA. Like,
it's tough to drink.
I will say that Stone though, if I do go IPA, I'm really. Like Delicious IPA, Ruination from Stone, or really just.
What was that one? Space Dust. Space Dust. That one was good. Do you remember that one? That one was really good. I like that.
It's really good. Oh man, dude. There's just so much beer out there. It's just hard to like.
Yeah, IPAs I usually go for if I'm like
Grand Cru. Remember the Grand Cru?
Yeah, BJ's. Get a BJ from your great grandma. But yeah, man, that was like a 9 or 10% beer. That shit was that was heavy. That was a heavy beer. Yeah. It was good though.
All right. So ready for some trivia?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so when Paul Soter and Eric Stolhansk are initially being led to the Beerfest arena, the other members of Broken Lizard have cameos. Kevin Heffernan is a German woman putting a human leg through a meat grinder.
That's right.
That's who I thought it was. Jay Chandrasekhar is a blind bearded man being circled by
Oh yeah. That's what the kid Danka da 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 da.
He's ringing the little bell on his bike. And Steve Lemmy appears as a clown-like character sporting a strap on. So
he's doing
the cast drank non-alcoholic O'Doul's beer during most of the filming, although alcoholic beer was sometimes consumed near the end of a day of filming.
Interesting. Okay, so that's good. I mean, that's a really good idea because you get that authentic,
to make it look
that burp, and it looks real. And yeah, I mean that's really good. Yeah, I never even thought about that. Yeah.
Will Forte impressed the cast with his beer drinking speed. Cool. Jürgen Prochnow makes a comment about he had a bad experience in one of these before when in the submarine. This is a reference to Das Boot, in which you said that.
Yeah.
Schnittelvision, whatever, is a name. Spickle is a name put together from vulgar German words. The literal translation is cock jerking.
I did not know that. That's hilarious.
Mr. Spickle. The final scene with the message "Coming soon, Potfest" was confirmed by Broken Lizard as a joke to make this film have an open-ended feel. The troupe said there has been fan support to create the sequel, which might be made as an animated film. I want live action.
Nah.
But it's really hard. You ever seen like when they try to make like CGI smoke? It never looks right. It looks terrible.
Yeah.
While in the Beerfest arena, they show portraits of the von Wolfhaus ancestors. One of the portraits is of the 11th President of the United States, James K. Polk. The portraits were painted by Kevin Heffernan's artist brother and now hang in the Broken Lizard office.
Oh, that's cool. Awesome.
While at the Schnitzengiggle, Kevin Heffernan's character orders 6 schnitzes.
Yeah.
This is a reference to his character ordering 6
Oh, shit.
Anti-drug rally and Super Troopers.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Yeah.
A couple more here. The techno song playing during the Germans' training scene is the same song played in Super Troopers when they pull over the port.
Oh my god, that's what it was.
The song is Beady Body Beady Boo by Bubbles.
Oh Oh man, I remember I was watching the end of that today. I was watching the end. I was like, man, yeah, I remember this song. Where the fuck have I heard this song? Damn it, that is the song. Wow.
The large beer-filled boot-shaped glass termed Das Boot in the movie served as the grand finale of all the drinking games. Actually, Das Boot translate as the boat in English. Der Stiefel
Oh shit.
would be the correct German terminology for the boot. Such beer boots are known as Bierstiefel in Germany. They are descended from the centuries-old German soldiers' tradition of accepting the challenge to drink beer out of another's boot.
I always wondered why that movie was called Das Boot. Okay, so it's not even a boot. Interesting.
Yeah, the I know, right? It made sense.
Yeah,
It made sense at
never
the time.
connected those dots, I guess.
And let's see here. The trivia. The Baron being angry with Cherry for stealing a strawberry beer recipe is a very subtle nod to not just to it being the incorrect recipe, but also the Germany beer purity law, or Reinheitsgebot, whatever. This law states that German beer can only be made from barley, hops, and water, making strawberry beer illegal.
Wow, I also forgot that part too, when she was like, Jam was like, you want to challenge me for this recipe, and then she's like, I already got the recipe. You fucked. You fucked.
Oh, maybe that's why she got shot. No, that part when she pushes Kevin's character into the she's like, you feel that pulling it down? That's the yeast, baby.
That's the yeast, baby. Monique, she is fucking hilarious, man. I love Monique.
Yeah, and that's all I got for you.
All right, buddy. I guess we're not gonna rank this. There's no other ones to rank, but I guess what are we gonna do here?
It's a Super Troopers closely right after that. Super Troopers really got me into Broken Lizard, but yeah,
it's true. Yeah. But yeah, next week we are gonna be doing Mortal Kombat, ladies and gentlemen. I am super excited for this movie, the 90s Mortal Kombat, and then after that we're going to be doing Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and then the week after that will be when Mortal Kombat 2021 premieres on HBO Max, so everybody else could watch it as well, and I'm very excited for that. After that, I don't know yet. We're going to have to brainstorm the next time we do one. Don't know what you want to do after, but I guess that's it. Myles, go ahead and give them the plugs, and then we are out of here for today.
Yeah, sortainteresting.com. It's this podcast you're listening to right now, and all of our podcasts from the past. That's where you can find them. That's our home. We also got a YouTube channel, youtube.com. Or no, wait. Go to youtube.com. In that search bar, type in Sorta Interesting. We're the first ones that pop up.
Match that subscribe button. I'm going to talk like one of those vloggers. Go ahead and hit a like, subscribe, mash that subscribe button.
Hit up our Patreon, patreon.com/sortainteresting, so you can donate to us starting at the $1 level. We can start putting extra content on.
That was a good that was a little good side podcast we had there. If we had a whole hour doing that,
we had a lot of stuff to cover. This is just scratching the surface of stuff that piques our interest, movies and TV shows. This is not even this is it. This isn't even it. I mean, like, we can talk about so much.
Oh my god, yeah, I could have gone
put our
there with
take
that
on it, put our spin on it, see what's going on in the world, and we want to talk about other things, and that's our avenue, that's our outlet. So just show us your support, and we'll show you guys some love. So yeah, I'll not before I show Christian how I love. Hey,
oh,
come down here,
nice.
bro. Up here. See what happens.
Supposed to be cool, man. Keep that on the
catch these hands in your app.
Keep that on the low down, bro. Dang.
The lowdown. Twitter, Instagram, I keep wanting to say Sorta Interesting. SoundCloud, Google Play. We're on the podcast app for iOS, Spotify, anywhere that podcasts are available. You can find us. You can find us on all social media platforms except for Facebook. Fuck Facebook.
Fuck Facebook.
And that's
and always a shout out to Taryn Huskis for making our intro and outro music for all of our podcasts here. I link all of his socials in the description below, so everybody go check him out. He's got Twitter.
He's making music right now too.
He's always putting out stuff, man. He's always in the lab.
dope beats, man.
Yeah,
He's great.
Go check him out, man. He's got plenty of good stuff. Always graces us with his music for our intro and outro music. But I guess that's it for today, everybody. We'll see you for Mortal Kombat next week. Have a sort of interesting day.